It is Independence Day weekend here in the States, and we emanate live tonight from the Emerald City, Seattle, Washington, inside the home of the MLB's Mariners, T-Mobile Park, former home to WrestleMania 19 in 2003. But tonight it plays host to the 2025 extravaganza known as King and Queen of the Ring. Tonight, the Emerald City becomes the proving ground. A place where legacies are made, where careers are changed, and where royalty is crowned. From the grudge-soaked soul of Seattle rises a storm of ambition, pain, and destiny. This is not just another night. It's a collision of history and hunger. The King and Queen of the Ring tournaments have returned, forged in tradition and sharpened by sacrifice. To wear the crown is to etch your name into the annals of history, to claim power, prestige, and a gateway to championship gold. Past kings became icons. Past queens reshaped divisions. Tonight, two more take their place among the elite. Lyra Valkyria, the fierce falcon of Ireland, meets Giulia, the dangerous newcomer with thunder in her fist. For one, the throne awaits. The phenomenal AJ Styles, a veteran master of the craft, versus Damian Priest, the archer of infamy, firing toward destiny. But the path to glory doesn't end there. Imperium wages war, hoping to extinguish the legacies of both CM Punk and John Cena once and for all. A personal score settled with brutal precision. A battleground of chaos leads Ilja Dragunov, Finn Balor, and Jey Uso into the fight. Three titans chasing the heavyweight championship of the world. And in the main event, Bron Breaker, the unstoppable force, Seth freaking Rollins, the resilient visionary. One seeks to continue dominance, the other to reclaim his place atop the mountain. Championships, crowns, closure. Tonight, from Seattle, royalty will rise, warriors will fall, and the future will be written in gold. Welcome to King and Queen of the Ring!
And now, WWE presents King and Queen of the Ring.
With over 50,000 expected, we welcome you inside T-Mobile Park in the beautiful Emerald City of Seattle. This is WWE King and Queen of the Ring.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship.
And I can't think of a more exciting way to kick things off here tonight than with the Cruiserweight Championship of the World, courtesy of Thursday Night SmackDown. The young OG Javon Evans, only 21 years old, making his WWE Premium Live Event debut a part of SmackDown. This young man bursted through the independent scene a couple of years ago, was quickly signed to an NXT contract, made waves down in that brand, of course turned a lot more heads in the Cruiserweight Classic tournament last fall, and on the first SmackDown after WrestleMania a couple of months ago, officially signed on the dotted line with Thursday Night SmackDown. The young OG defeating a former Cruiserweight champion in Wesley, as well as LWO's Dragon Lee, to earn himself #1 contendership en route to Seattle tonight. But will he be able to outlast a man who is willing to pull any underhanded tactic needed to get the job done? And that would be the reigning, defending Cruiserweight Champion of the world himself. The Judgment Day's Dirty Dominik Mysterio. And of course accompanied by his little girlfriend there in Liv Morgan. Well, I'm sure Liv would much rather be walking down the aisle tonight participating in the Queen of the Ring Tournament Finals. But unfortunately for her, she was knocked off the bracket by the beautiful madness Giulia this past Thursday night on SmackDown. Giulia takes on Lyra Valkyria later tonight in the Queen of the Ring Tournament Finals, but Liv Morgan, alongside her boyfriend in Dirty Dom, making the march, making the ring walk, and Dirty Dom set to put that Cruiserweight Championship on the line. Dom, of course, winning the gold back at WrestleMania, keeping down the man we mentioned prior, the Cardiac Kid Wes Lee, last year's Cruiserweight Classic Tournament winner. He has since retained the gold over Dragon Lee. Of course, has been engulfed in a war alongside the Judgment Day against superstars the likes of AJ Styles, the Usos, and most importantly, the world champion Ilja Dragunov. But tonight, the spotlight and the attention for Dominik Mysterio is on the gold that is around his waist, the championship he won back at the grandest stage of them all. Dominik Mysterio's attention may be widespread, but the young OG has got one thing on his mind, and that's Cruiserweight Championship gold, his first PLE a part of SmackDown, and an opportunity higher than ever before.
Introducing the challenger. From Greensboro, North Carolina, weighing in at 170 pounds, Javon Evans. And his opponent, from San Diego, California, weighing in at 200 pounds, the WWE Cruiserweight Champion, Dirty Dominik Mysterio.
Well, here we go, getting the action underway live from the Emerald City of Seattle. Dominik Mysterio representing the Judgment Day with Liv Morgan in his corner. The numbers game always in the Judgment Day's favor. It is going to be an uphill battle for the #1 contender in Javon Evans here tonight. Evans proving he can hang with some of the best that the Cruiserweight division has to offer on SmackDown, turning away Wes Lee, beating Dragon Lee, and now one-on-one with the champion himself. Here we go, Javon Evans hot out of the gate. Remember, just 72 hours ago on SmackDown, Javon Evans keeping down another Judgment Day representative and another former Cruiserweight champion in the Irish Ace J.D. McDonough. Dominik Mysterio doing his damnedest to ruin that celebration with an ambush from behind, but Evans was ready and left Dominik Mysterio looking up at the lights this past Thursday night. Of course, it was 3 weeks ago when Javon Evans defeated Dragon Lee to become the #1 contender. Another celebration that was short-lived as Dominik Mysterio hit the ring and cracked Javon over the skull with the Cruiserweight Championship of the world. I'm sure Dom's living to regret those actions. As later that night, Javon Evans assisting AJ Styles. Wait a minute, hold that thought. Evans from behind, trying to steal the victory. He almost did. Almost had the Cruiserweight Championship out of the grasp of the Judgment Day. Dominik Mysterio now set to the ropes. Look at Evans. Around and around we go. Dominik Mysterio face first off the canvas. Evans now looking to keep his foot on the gas pedal. High up top here in Seattle. Frog splash for the #1 contender. He's going to win the title, not just yet. Javon Evans knows one speed, and that's 100 miles an hour. And, oh, you got to keep your eyes on Liv Morgan, who's already on the apron trying to do her damnedest to distract Javon Evans here in Seattle. There's a poison rana by Mysterio. These two men going at it in a blaze of glory in less than a minute here since the bell sounded in T-Mobile Park. Dominik Mysterio off that poison rana might have just halted the fast momentum of Javon Evans. And the Cruiserweight champion may be in the driver's seat at the given moment. As we were discussing moments prior, Dominik Mysterio, I am sure, living to regret those actions of attacking Javon Evans from behind at the Cruiserweight Championship. As later that same night, Dominik Mysterio went one-on-one with AJ Styles in a first-round matchup in the King of the Ring tournament. Javon Evans aiding AJ Styles with a little bit of a distraction, costing Dom that matchup and kicking Dominik Mysterio out of the King of the Ring tournament this year. Now Dom making his way to Seattle regardless, but the Cruiserweight Championship is on the line, and Javon Evans is hot on his tail. There's a little separation created by the #1 contender. Into the ring he comes with the rolling X Factor. Javon going for another pinfall here. We've seen a couple of near falls already. Evans just trying to catch Mysterio at a moment's notice. Now what's Evans got in mind? Bounce it off the top with a tilt-a-whirl Hurricane Rana. That boy is bouncy, as it says in the theme song. The #1 contender looking to dictate the pace of this matchup and throw Dominik Mysterio off his game. Dominik has just got to catch Javon Evans, has got to ground this young man and not allow him to fly around this ring. High risk, high reward is the name of the game, and it is why the #1 contender in Javon Evans is here today. Easier said than done, trying to stop this young man and slow him down and not allow the soles of his boots to leave the floor. Dominik Mysterio not afraid to go high risk himself. I think trying to outmatch Javon Evans in the high-flying field is easier said than done. Split-legged moonsault out of the corner. Double stomp to the abdominal. There's another kick for good measures. Javon Evans now, middle rope, wheels are a-spinning. Mysterio in the drop zone. Dominik Mysterio on a wobbly foundation. Javon Evans measuring his man. He may be young in this game, but he's not naive enough to rush into the process. What a kick off the middle rope. And there you see Liv Morgan getting involved in this matchup, pulling Javon Evans out of the ring, not allowing him to capitalize off that offense. Meanwhile, referee Chad Patton was fixing up an exposed steel turnbuckle that she had cleared off moments ago. And now Dominik Mysterio heading to the outside. Chaos is afoot here in Seattle, and I believe referee Chad Patton has tossed Liv Morgan from ringside. Well, that's about the best case scenario for Javon here, as already she has been an X Factor in this Cruiserweight Championship match. Exposing the steel underneath that buckle. Distracted Javon a few minutes ago and then just pulled Javon Evans right out from underneath the bottom rope. Good old Chad Patton for getting her the hell away from ringside. Let this be a fair fight and not allow Javon's opportunity to go up in smoke, thanks to some typical Judgment Day numbers game. Dominik Mysterio, however, still in the driver's seat off those distractions, now is starting to stack the offense. The missile drop kick off the middle rope. Javon trying to get his wits about him here, and Dominik Mysterio just letting him have it. Evans creates some distance, another springboard here. Look at this young kid go! The drop kick takes down Dirty Dom. Evans is hanging in there. Dom's doing his damnedest to try to not allow Evans to dictate the pace. But you can't beat a man if you can't catch him. Nice arm drag by the #1 contender. Dominik Mysterio now in trouble. Hoisted on top by the 21-year-old challenger. Evans, springboard. Frankensteiner sends Mysterio for a ride. Over 50,000 strong on their feet. Blue Thunder Bomb to win the Cruiserweight title. No, Mysterio's still alive. Javon Evans thought he had this matchup in the bag, but the Judgment Day's Dirty Dominik Mysterio, you hate to give him credit, but you gotta give the devil his due. Able to be resilient in that moment. The Cruiserweight champion, also a former Intercontinental champion, hell, Dirty Dom was voted by you, the fans, the breakout superstar last year for a reason. By the time 2025 is said and done, Javon Evans may be the breakout superstar of this calendar year. Off the kick right to the jawline. May not have put Mysterio away for the 3 count, but he clearly has Dominik Mysterio in a weakened state. There's Dom able to get the hell out of dodge there in the big boot. Drop kick-like maneuver. Evans tried to catch the boot. Wasn't fast enough. Mysterio down. Looking for the exclamation point. A 619 delivers on Evans. And a halo that Eddie Guerrero would be proud of. Dominik gonna retain here in Seattle. Not just yet, Javon's still in it. The 619 followed by the halo, a combination that has brought Dominik Mysterio so much success. One of the reasons he is Cruiserweight champion today, but the young OG digging down deep. Well, it may not have put Evans away, but just as we said a few moments ago, what it has done is put the opposer in a weakened state. Javon Evans looking worse for wear here off that combination of strikes by Dirty Dom. Bron leaning up against the ropes. There's a reversal that time. And a bit of a stalemate. Javon Evans gonna throw that corkscrew right at Mysterio. Just trying to get back in the driver's seat here in the Emerald City. Off the ropes again. What a kick. Man, this is what makes that young blood, the young OG, Javon Evans, so special. Javon earned his way to this Cruiserweight Championship matchup tonight. Will he be able to make the most of it? Will he be leaving his first main roster premium live event with his first main roster championship? Dominik Mysterio now set over the top rope as I think Evans is just trying to regain control. Oh, Mysterio shot to the abdominal here. Wait a minute. What's Dom got in mind? A Mexican destroyer on the apron! My goodness! That might have just neutralized Javon Evans for good. I don't know how you come back from that. A destroyer on the hardest part of the ring. Dominik may have had an ace in the hole. And I think maybe on the verge of retaining his Cruiserweight Championship here in T-Mobile Park. Javon trying to get to his feet. He may be out on his feet. He may not know where he is right now. The lights are on, nobody's home, and Dominik Mysterio knows it. Javon Evans just rolling to the corner. The Judgment Day's Dirty Dominik Mysterio, like a shark that smells blood in the water, after that destroyer, and now sends Javon right into the post. Oh, and a drop kick for good measures. Dominik Mysterio has got Javon Evans, prime target. Could be headed up for a frog splash. Wait a minute, Evans with the kip up. Realized disaster was afoot. And switch it into a different gear, trying to fight through the pain. Let adrenaline fuel him tonight. Dominik Mysterio, if he delivered that frog splash, this thing could have been over with. Dominik Mysterio on spaghetti legs. Javon Evans a little bit far, but on the top rope nonetheless, that I believe was going for that blockbuster. May have slipped up on the top rope, might have miscalculated it, but they don't call it high risk, high reward for nothing. That was a mistake by Evans, no doubt about it, whether he meant it or not. Might have just handed the momentum back to Dirty Dom, and oh, wait a minute here, Javon! OG Cutter out of nowhere! If it doesn't work once, might as well try again! Javon Evans is Cruiserweight Champion!
Here is your winner, and the new WWE Cruiserweight Champion, Javon Evans!
Javon Evans pushing through all the pain and punishment that Dominik Mysterio had to dish out. Avoided the frog splash, and even after what could have been a costly misstep, slipping up on that top rope, able to recoup, able to find his footing. The OG Cutter and a 3 count later, and the young OG is leaving his first main roster premium live event with his first main roster championship. What a way to kick things off in Seattle. The young OG leaving with the gold. On Sunday, July 27th, the future changes in an instant. Live from the Bell Center in Montreal, the City of Saints, the fight capital of Canada, Money in the Bank returns, presented by Noah Nation Gaming channel memberships. Men and women will climb the ladders, not just for a briefcase, but for destiny. Inside that case, opportunity, power, a golden contract that can be cashed in anytime, anywhere for a world championship. Some rise to the moment, others fall beneath it. And in Montreal, with the eyes of the world watching, history will be made. New challengers will emerge, champions will feel the pressure, and new names will hold the keys to it all. Opportunity is the name of the game on Sunday night, July 27th at Money in the Bank. Well, the Money in the Bank PLE is heading to Montreal 3 weeks from tonight, but tomorrow night, live from Climate Pledge Arena here in Seattle. Monday Night Raw goes live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and Money in the Bank qualifiers for both the men and women will begin. That's tomorrow night, live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday Night Raw. But we are set for more action here in Seattle. The WWE Women's Tag Team Championship is on the line. Let us paint you the picture. It was on a Thursday night in May in the middle of San Jose, Bayley's hometown, that she made a return for the first time in several months. She was drafted over to SmackDown for the Monday Night Raw brand, aligned with longtime friend Naomi to take on a common enemy in Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, a pair of former women's tag team champions. Well, Bayley and Naomi ever since then have really thrived as a tandem on SmackDown, and Bayley scoring a huge singles victory 2 weeks ago when she kept down one half of the women's tag team champions in the EST, Bianca Belair. And now all roads lead to the Emerald City, where Bayley and Naomi look to capture Tag Team Championship gold. What an opportunity that is afoot for longtime friends turned one formidable duo. And ever since returning to the WWE, Naomi has made an impact on Thursday nights, but she's back on a premium live event for the first time since Royal Rumble 2023. Seattle here to feel the glow, and Naomi here to capture championship gold. Naomi's already challenged for a championship on SmackDown. It was in a losing effort against Kairi Sane for the Women's United States Championship, but even in that defeat, Naomi continuing to impress and show why she is amongst the best in WWE today. During her hiatus from WWE, Naomi went on to win the TNA Knockouts Championship in that promotion. Naomi has proven herself not only as a single star, but a tag team star as well. And alongside Bayley, we could be leaving Seattle tonight with new women's tag team champions. Well, as impressive as these two women have been, and as a formidable duo they have become, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill stand in the middle of their road to glory. Bianca and Jade have held the titles since WrestleMania in the beginning of March. They have turned away Nia Jackson, Tiffany Stratton in retention of those championships. Can they turn away Naomi and Bayley? That is the question that we remain an answer to. It goes to show you how great Naomi and Bayley have thrived together, as Bianca and Jade were the ones who threw out the challenge for this tag team championship matchup here tonight. And it certainly brings up an interesting plot twist, if you will, that we will discuss in moments here in the Emerald City. You know, very few women have entered the WWE and made as big of an impact in such a short amount of time as this woman, a bona fide superstar, one half of the women's tag team champions in Jade Cargill. Debuting in the WWE last October, already holding championship gold in less than a year. And her tag team partner, none other than a multiple-time over former women's champion in Bianca Belair. You know, we said that Jade and Bianca were the ones who threw out the challenge for this championship bout tonight. They want to fight the best. They want to compete against the best. The last time we saw champions throw out a challenge to their challengers was not that long ago. It was on SmackDown in the lead up to Clash at the Castle when former WWE Tag Team Champions Infraxium had called out Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. You go back to Glasgow, Scotland at Clash at the Castle, you can see how that ended for Fraxium. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus not only accepting the challenge, but winning the Tag Team Championships on that night. Have Jade and Bianca made their own bed? Are those championships about to leave their waist? Well, I'll tell you what, Bayley and Naomi are great, but so are the reigning defending champions. And dare I say, at the precipice of this matchup stands this woman, a former WWE Women's Champion, multiple times over, one half of the Tag Team Champions, and whether it's on Raw, SmackDown, or any PLE in any given year, Bianca Belair always has got the spotlight on her. Bianca and Jade turned away longtime rivals in Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez back at WrestleMania. And although they've seen some bumps in the road since WrestleMania, they walk in tonight superstars, they walk in tonight champions. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, your women's tag team champions. They want to fight the best, and they got them. Bayley and Naomi, your challengers. An epic women's tag team championship matchup on the horizon in the middle of T-Mobile Park in front of 50,000 strong in Seattle.
The following is a tag team match set for one fall and is for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Introducing the challengers, the team of Bayley and Naomi. And their opponents, the team of Jade Cargill and Bianca.
Well, of course, those women's tag team championships, universal to all brands in WWE, but the superstars that lie beneath it in this matchup technically bring us an interpromotional bout here at King and Queen of the Ring. Bianca and Jade representing Monday Night Raw, Bayley and Naomi representing SmackDown. Gotta wonder if there's any underlining brand supremacy floating around the minds of these four women. But more importantly are the tag team championships. Referee Jessica Carr wearing the stripes. The bell has sounded here in the Emerald City. The gold is on the line. Bayley looking for the victory early over the ever-impressive Jade Cargill. And I think Bayley knows it's going to take a lot more to keep Cargill down, but that's the veteran in Bayley trying to mess with the psyche of Jade. Well, although it's been nothing short of a success, has only got so many years in this industry, and certainly years that do not outweigh those of Bayley. Bayley and Naomi, veterans of this game, championships, I should say, have been won by both women, no matter where they've been, whether it's in WWE or outside of it. There's a tag made to Naomi. Bayley and Naomi showing you why they are the challengers tonight, why they've been working like a well-oiled machine. Maybe new to teaming up with each other, but longtime friends in this industry, going back to Bayley's main roster debut nearly 10 years ago. Naomi has teamed with a lot of women over the years. Bayley could say the same, but these two have proven to be a formidable duo, one that can coexist, one that can get the job done, and one that may be on the verge of championship gold. Not if Jade Cargill's got anything to say about it. What Jade's got And hell, we should also say what Bianca's got over Naomi and Bayley is the strength, is the power, and that is what they're going to have to rely on tonight over two game challengers. Off the spinebuster, into the pinfall, goes Cargill. This one's not over yet. Naomi, obviously, speed and agility, and dare I say, Bayley, a jack of all trades inside of that ring. Great technical wrestler at time. Bayley is full house, full set inside of that ring in terms of talent. There's a tag made of Bianca Belair as Naomi has been brought into enemy territory, shall we say championship territory, here in Seattle. And Bianca Belair gonna look to be aggressive upon entering the ring. Now, Bianca and Jade, they have thrived as a tandem, but you look at their singles matches over the last couple of months, and clearly they have lost a step in that aspect. Bianca and Jade have been turned away numerous times, whether it was against Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax over on Raw, or most recently Bayley defeating Bianca Belair on SmackDown. Maybe that tonight is a tag team matchup. Maybe they will thrive once again, but if this keeps up and Naomi and Bayley keep up this speed, Bianca and Jade's tag team title reign may come crashing down. Similar to how Bianca's body just came crashing down on the canvas, forcefully by one half of the challengers. Going for the elbow is Bayley. Nobody home that time. Bianca and Bayley know each other pretty well. Less than 2 weeks ago, they were in the middle of a blue brand ring on Thursday nights. Bianca cutting Bayley in half in the corner. Bianca ever agile. They called her the strongest, the fastest, the quickest, the roughest, the toughest, the EST for a reason. Bayley being reminded of that firsthand there off the collision in the corner. Now Jade Cargill back inside of the ring. There's the power on full display. A choke slam by Cargill. And only a 1 count that time. Bayley seeing this championship matchup flash before her very eyes here at King and Queen of the Ring. Jade Cargill, although has been in WWE for less than a year, has made her name known worldwide. She's not looking to see that spotlight be shifted away from what is a bona fide superstar here tonight. Bayley and Naomi, however, have come across so many women through the years. They've seen them come and go. To Bayley and Naomi, Jade Cargill may be just another footnote in their lengthy longevity and, of course, successful careers here at WWE. Jade Cargill a little overconfident that time. Took her eyes off Bayley, started doing push-ups in the middle of the ring. Bayley saying, "You better put some respect on my name." Delivered a couple of closed fists to one half of the tag team champions. And now Cargill wiped out by behalf of the challenger. And only a 1 count that time, but an incredible move by Bayley to hoist Jade on her shoulders like that and spin her inside out. The veteran instincts of Bayley to go right for the cover may not have gotten the 3 count, but damage done. Now some tandem offense by the challengers. Naomi, your legal competitor. Naomi took some time away from the WWE in search of greener pastures. As we mentioned, former NXT, or I should say former TNA Knockouts champion during her time away, but finally returning home a couple of months ago, and boy, has she ever made a presence on SmackDown. Naomi looking to finally achieve some championship gold, get it around her waist here tonight. Judging by the look of it right now, Naomi and Bayley clearly in the driver's seat. Well, of course, as soon as we say that, Jade Cargill delivered a boot right to the jawline and a spear to the Glow herself. Cargill to retain the titles. It's not over yet. And just when you think the challengers have taken over, Jade Cargill ensuring that the champion's days at the top of the tag team division are not done, at least for the moment. And this is not where Naomi needs to be, and sure not where she wants to be. Brought into the corner of the champions. Another tag made at the EST, Bianca Belair. Bianca and Naomi now going to lock horns here in Seattle. Look at the spine buster by Bianca. Said it before, we'll say it again. The power that the champions, of course, have in their arsenal. Something that make them a tag team that not many can outmatch. Follow that up with a little splash by Bianca. Naomi may be feeling worse for wear. Goes behind the EST. Slamming one half of the challengers down to the canvas. To retain the titles here in the Emerald City. Bayley saying otherwise. Breaking things up, not allowing a 3 count to be made. Bianca Belair coming in, keeping her foot on the gas pedal. Naomi may be surviving, but she's far from thriving. Jade Cargill, now your legal competitor. The champions try to keep each other as fresh as can be. Powerbomb, sits out with it. Oh man, Naomi's got to be hurt. She's trying to crawl away to the corner. Get a tag to Bayley. Get some fresh legs for the challengers in this matchup. But that is easier said than done, when Cargill is on the soles of her boots. And now a rarity for Jade. To be scaling the ropes, going for the axe hammer, but Naomi delivers a shot right to the abdominal. Jade trying to get fancy. Naomi makes her pay, and there's an enziguri followed by the split-legged. One costly misstep by one half of the champions. And it may come back to bite them here. Naomi, all of a sudden, has got some daylight. Swing blade. Just when you think the champions have taken over. And now it's Jade who's setting enemy territory. Naomi full head of steam. Running bulldog. Cargill looking up at the lights of T-Mobile Park. And I don't think Naomi's done. She wants to keep this offense going. Ensure that the challengers walk away with an emphatic victory upon becoming champions if they can. There's a tag made to Bayley. Naomi and Bayley working like a well-oiled machine, as we mentioned before. Bayley's got something brewing in the mind. Jade sent to the outside. And Bayley with a drop kick from one corner to another. The challengers have turned this matchup completely on its head. One mistake by Cargill, coming off that middle rope less than a minute ago, has completely reshaped the foundation of this tag team title defense. Bayley now, eyes locked on Cargill. Bayley to belly, dead center of the ring. And you gotta believe this one would have been over if it weren't for Bianca Belair. Off the Bayley to belly, Jade Cargill wiped out. That was just the icing on the cake of an incredible run of offense by the challengers. Bianca Belair ensuring no 3 count was to be made, but Jade Cargill with her back against the wall right now. There's a shot to Bayley, trying to create some distance. And a little backbreaker. May not be much in the grand scheme of things, but it's going to be enough to get Bayley off her back at least for a moment. A much-needed tag to the EST. Bianca Belair, who comes in guns a-blazing, starting to swing. Bayley and Naomi might have shown their best hands. Or maybe not. Bayley, Rose plant in the EST. And now Jade's the one breaking things up. That is the same maneuver that pinned Bianca 2 weeks ago on SmackDown, and you gotta believe it would have done it again. Jade Cargill breaking things up. Bayley off the rose plant. Nearly had the EST defeated, but now Naomi coming in, looking for the exclamation point. How long can the champions survive this fury of offense, this flurry of offense by the challengers? Bianca now set to the ropes. Naomi full head of steam. Got ourselves a good one for the Women's Tag Team Championships here at King and Queen of the Ring. Bianca creates some much-needed distance. Naomi set to the ropes. Is another spine buster by the EST. Another tag made to Jade Cargill. How much do these champions have left? May just be running on fumes at the given moment. Naomi and Bayley, dare I say, by the look of it, winning the race to the finish line. There's Jade again, getting overconfident, dare I say. She cannot keep doing that, or Naomi and Bayley are gonna cost her. And Jade Cargill, nonetheless, still in control. Naomi now getting trapped between a rock and a hard place. Jaded! Cargill to retain the titles, and Bayley going to ensure that Jessica Carr's hand does not hit that canvas 3 times in a row. The Jaded by Cargill was playing a risky game, flexing to this audience, but luckily for her, Naomi was in a weakened state. There's Naomi creating some distance on Bianca and just levels her, takes her off her feet. Oh, I think Naomi's had enough. Taking out Jade Cargill off the apron. Bianca now tackles down the challenger. Things are getting gritty here in Seattle, and Bianca gonna dish it right back to the challengers, knocking Bayley off the apron. Naomi now with a reversal to the EST. Gonna start lighting up Bianca, maybe not. Bianca one sidestep, and now catches Naomi into the KOD. Into the cover goes Bianca. The championship's gonna remain with Belair and Cargill.
Here are your winners, and still WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, the team of Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair.
Well, it was not an easy route to victory for Bianca and Jade, but they continue to be resilient. They continue to come together when it matters most. And the Women's Tag Team Championships will be leaving Seattle, still around the waist of Jade Cargill, along with the EST, Bianca Belair. Can't get enough universe mode? PLE kickoff shows, live events, all exclusive to Noah Nation Gaming channel members. Hit the join button down below and gain access to more universe than ever before. We want to take you back to the King and Queen of the Ring kickoff show just a bit ago here in Seattle. Chaos breaking out the top of the aisleway between the Irish Ace, J.D. McDonough, of course, Judgment Day representative himself, and Rawls Damian Priest. Everybody knows the history. Damian Priest stabbed in the back by Finn Balor, dating back to the Raw after WrestleMania. Priest has been unable to get revenge for months as he resides on Raw, and the Judgment Day is over on SmackDown. Well, Priest and Balor in the same building tonight for the first time in some time. I don't know who started the fight in the backstage area, but it continued out to the middle of T-Mobile Park. Priest laying out J.D. McDonough with a South of Heaven. Finn Balor then arriving at the top of the aisleway. And the chaos would continue as the Pier 6 brawl, a long time coming, between Priest and Balor was afoot. Well, management has evidently informed both of these men that they are not to get involved in each other's matchups tonight, or else there will be serious repercussions. We're talking fines, we're talking suspensions. Balor and Priest going to be forced to stay away for the rest of the evening. Finn Balor, of course, with the main event matchup still to come here in Seattle, as he will contest Ilja, Dragunov, as well as Jey Uso in the triple threat matchup for the heavyweight championship of the world. But Damian Priest, with his eyes on the prize, as coming up next here in Seattle, he will represent Monday Night Raw against Thursday Night SmackDown's phenomenal AJ Styles. It is the King of the Ring Tournament Finals. This matchup supposed to take place earlier this year at the Royal Rumble for the WWE Championship. Now Styles and Priest will finally meet, coming up in moments. Damian Priest, of course, defeating Obafemi in the first round. The Viper Randy Orton this past Monday Night on Raw in the semis. AJ Styles turning away the Judgment Day's Dirty Dominik Mysterio and overcoming the Auszilla Bronson Reed 72 hours ago. It's Priest, it's Styles. Who's going to be the king? Who's going to SummerSlam? It is an opportunity of a lifetime. It's the 2025 King of the Ring Tournament Finals.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from New York City, weighing in at 249 pounds, Damian Priest.
Well, hopefully after that threat by management to both Finn Balor as well as Damian Priest to stay away from each other for the rest of the night, Unless there'll be fines, unless there'll be suspensions, hopefully that is enough for Damian Priest to keep his eyes on the prize and focus on the task at hand, which is the phenomenal AJ Styles and the King of the Ring tournament. Damian Priest, a former 4-time World Tag Team Champion, 3 of those reigns coming with his old friend in Finn Balor. But tonight, Damian Priest looks to take the next step as a single star. He's challenged for the WWE Championship before, and if he can win King of the Ring, he'll challenge for it again next month at SummerSlam. Can Priest overcome the phenomenal AJ Styles? It was less than a year ago that AJ Styles was over on Raw, that AJ Styles was the WWE Champion. He looks to get back to the promised land and challenge for the Heavyweight Championship of the world from SmackDown. And this is the path to doing so, live and in living color in Seattle.
And his opponent from Gainesville, Georgia, weighing in at 218 pounds, the phenomenal
It is certainly a big fight feel in front of 50,000 strong in T-Mobile Park. A former home to WrestleMania many years ago. Now one of the biggest events of the 2025 calendar. The King and Queen of the Ring. And one of the headlining affairs about to take shape. AJ Styles represents SmackDown, Damian Priest represents Raw, but this matchup about so much more than brand supremacy. An opportunity to etch your name into the annals of history, becoming a King of the Ring winner, punching your ticket to the main event of SummerSlam, challenging for your brand's World Championship. It's all on the line right here, right now in the Emerald City. It is your final matchup of this year's King of the Ring tournament. Referee Rod Zapata wearing the stripes. The bell has sounded and we are underway between Priest and Styles. Again, this matchup supposed to take place earlier this year at the Royal Rumble event. Damian Priest was the #1 contender for the WWE Championship. At first, AJ Styles had held that gold over on Raw. That was until he was defeated by CM Punk, who was then defeated by Bron Breakker, who cashed in Money in the Bank. Damian Priest was unsuccessful back in January against Bron Breakker for the WWE Championship. Priest, I'm sure, looking to get back in the ring with whoever is the undisputed champion next month at SummerSlam, but AJ Styles with a similar feeling. And AJ Styles, even this late into the game, even this late in his career, still as hungry as ever to be the man, to be on top, and to hold the gold. It is nights like tonight where you do not leave anything left in the tank. You spare no expense. You leave it all on that canvas. AJ gonna bring the fight to Priest in the early moments. Suplex right into the buckles. And a 2 count that time, nearly keeping Damian Priest down. The years of experience would tell you that these two men are willing to do whatever they got to do tonight to become King of the Ring. But just look at the roads that they went to over the last few weeks just to get to Seattle. Damian Priest with 2 hard-fought battles. Successful nonetheless against the ruler Obafemi, as well as the Apex Predator Randy Orton. AJ Styles, who's been dealing with a looming issue against the Judgment Day, able to turn around former Cruiserweight champion in Dominik Mysterio, and what a battle he had against Big Bronson Reed this past Thursday night on SmackDown. Now he's dealing with Damian Priest, who's coming at a full head of steam out of the corner and into the ropes. Damian Priest has got to be fired up after coming in a collision with Finn Balor on the King and Queen of the Ring kickoff show. May have no quarrel with AJ Styles, but I'm sure he's looking to take out some of that frustration en route to becoming king. Off a combination into the suplex, into the pinfall. AJ Styles still into this matchup. AJ in the last 12 months has been a United States champion, has been a WWE champion, and now he's looking to be King of the Ring. Damian Priest looking to take the next step to becoming a WWE champion. Finally on Monday Night Raw, AJ Styles has got a different plan. Priest wanted the shoulder block. Styles able to sidestep it. Now the world-traveled veteran gonna unleash. Drop kick lands on the button. Priest roll to the outside. But nowhere to run from the Phenomenal One, who delivers a forearm. AJ Styles proved to be tough, proved to be resilient. Really a reminder of it, as if we didn't know it already. Just 72 hours ago against the Auszilla, Bronson Reed on SmackDown. Gotta wonder if Styles is feeling less than 100% and how close he is to 100% after that war of attrition on Thursday night. I'll tell you what, even if Styles had to drag his body down the aisle tonight, there was going to be nothing that stopped him from competing in the King of the Ring tournament. And he is letting everything he's got come out at the given moment, unleashing on the punishment Damian Priest. Off the springboard, moonsault into the neck breaker, vintage AJ Styles. And another near fall here in the middle of T-Mobile Park. And these two men going at it with everything they got already. Still in the early moments of this King of the Ring tournament finals. AJ Styles now maybe starting to dictate the pace. Damian Priest on wobbly foundation. Styles going for the springboard, and I think he just grazed Damian Priest. Priest might have been a little bit out of position, but they don't call it high risk, high reward for nothing. A costly misstep. We saw the same thing happen to Javon Evans earlier tonight, and it's going to benefit Damian Priest. AJ Styles, rare miscalculation out of the veteran's arsenal. It's about the best case scenario for the punishment right now. Damian Priest now size and strength advantage, and of course the power over the Phenomenal One. It's a fall away slam that Hall of Famer JBL would certainly be proud of. Styles now just getting clocked by Priest. And now it's Damian heading to the top. Never been afraid to soar. Swanton in Seattle. Into the cover. Priest to wear the crown. Not just yet. AJ Styles still alive. Damian Priest making the most of that misstep by AJ Styles. Oh, how it's rewarded him since then. Whatever frustration that Damian Priest had boiling up inside that he started to let out earlier tonight on the Judgment Day, he's letting out on AJ Styles right now, who just got sent to the outside. Full head of steam. Priest over the top rope, coming crashing down on Styles. Damian Priest all kinds of fired up. AJ Styles may be in trouble. Rolled back inside the ring, struggling to get his foundation back. Discus leg lariat, the big boot. Styles down. Priest gonna win it all. AJ Styles gets the shoulder up at 2.9. An incredible offense by Damian Priest. Soaring over the top rope. The big boot, but somehow Styles is still into it. AJ Styles' own momentum, I think, just sent him over the top rope. Priest now. Oh, might have just walked into a trap. AJ Styles might have hoisted himself to the apron for a reason. Slingshot DDT. Moonsault delivers. Neither of these men afraid to leave the soles of their boots. Oh, now it's Priest who gets sent to the outside. What's Styles got in mind here? Here comes AJ with a Fosbury flop over the top. AJ Styles turning back the clock like it's 2005 and he's competing for the X Division title in TNA. Damian Priest may be down, may be out. Styles with a neck breaker at ringside just for good measures. 450 connects. Styles gonna be crowned King of the Ring. No! Damian Priest pops the shoulder up. This matchup gonna progress. Man, we knew this was going to be a good one, and that's exactly what it's been. Priest and Styles leaving it all on the line in the name of the King of the Ring tournament. Who is going to be among the greats as a winner of this prestigious tournament? Who's going to challenge for their brand's world title next month at SummerSlam? Priest now set in the corner. Styles with a combination out of it. AJ Styles has shown some of his best maneuvers thus far. What else has he got in the tank? Going back up top. Awaiting Damian Priest to get to a bit of a wobbly foundation, but Damian Priest might have been playing possum. Catches Styles out of the air and slams him down to the ground. A well-timed reversal by Damian Priest, who now goes behind and turns AJ Styles inside out with the lariat. AJ Styles may be in trouble. Damian Priest measuring his man, and whatever Priest has in mind, you gotta believe it's gonna be disastrous. AJ now hoisted on top. Damian Priest could be going for a little Frankensteiner. Oh, AJ puts on the brakes. Damian Priest wanted to go high risk. AJ Styles said not yet, not on my accord. And off the middle rope, Styles delivers another forearm variation. And now Styles heading to the heavens. Spiral tap by AJ. We saw it on SmackDown. He pulls it out again tonight. But Damian Priest continues to persevere. Another well-timed reversal. Put Styles right into the right place at the right time. Delivered that spiral tap, but Damian Priest barely crawls to his feet. What else does Styles got in mind? Back on top. AJ could be looking for an old belly to back here that just folds Damian Priest up like an accordion. AJ Styles thinking, what the hell am I going to have to do to keep down what is clearly a game, a motivated Damian Priest. A Priest trying to fight through the punishment. Wait a minute here. South of heaven. Priest catches Styles. It's going to be over. It's going to be over. No. The sense of urgency, the enthusiasm behind that kick out. AJ Styles still in it. You look back at this tournament thus far, it took not one, but two South of Heaven choke slams to beat not only Obafemi, but also Randy Orton. Is that going to be the formula for Damian Priest tonight? Maybe it's just one more. Priest landed that shoulder block that he wanted earlier on in this matchup. The Priest has got to strike while the iron's hot. If it's a second, South of Heaven chokeslam that's going to put AJ Styles away, he's got to go for it now. I think Damian Priest losing his footing that time, clearly. Might have slipped up on his own momentum. Obviously has some screws loose. Equilibrium may be thrown off. Starting to fight back nonetheless. There you go. Damian Priest with some momentum behind that clothesline. AJ Styles, you could draw the outline around his carcass right now. But maybe not for long. Styles delivers a boot and delivers a shot that takes Priest off the soles. You see they're starting to slow down a bit here in Seattle, but they're putting everything they possibly have behind each and every shot. Damian Priest now center of the top rope. Wait a minute, choke slam from the apron. And Priest now heading back to the top rope. Go for a leg drop, and AJ Styles moved out of the way just at the right time. Man, what a counter by AJ Styles. Man, both these men have got to be feeling the pain and the agony of this battle. But this is what the King of the Ring tournament's all about. Incredible competition equals incredible reward. And just when you think somebody's in the driver's seat, the other says, "Nuh-uh, not today, it's my turn." Priest now up against the ropes, needing him just to get to his feet. AJ Styles now unloading with strikes. Certainly can be classified as a bit of a striker throughout his career, but so can Damian Priest, who loves to rely on that mixed martial arts background. Priest takes Styles off his feet. Gotta capitalize. Styles, inside cradle, and a small package to win. Damian Priest took his eye off the ball and it nearly cost him. Another reversal. Priest takes Styles out again. Damian Priest has got to keep his eyes on the prize. He's got to get Judgment Day out of his mind. He's got to get the pain out of his mind. He sends AJ Styles over the top. What has the punishment got in mind here? Styles creates some distance. Priest in position for a phenomenal forearm out of nowhere. A mistake by Priest aids Styles. AJ Styles wins King of the Ring.
Here is your winner, the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Priest had nothing left. He tossed AJ Styles into the ropes. Styles held on. Styles found himself in prime position. Priest was in the drop zone, and Styles struck with one emphatic, phenomenal forearm. AJ Styles goes down in the history books as the 2025 King of the Ring winner, and will move on to meet SmackDown's World Heavyweight Champion, whoever it may be, next month in Cleveland at SummerSlam.
If you're feeling lost, sing this song with me. It will shine a light. I hope that you can stay. Take away, carry me, take me
WWE SummerSlam coming your way from Huntington Bank Field Sunday night, August the 24th, in the home of the NFL's Cleveland Browns in Cleveland, Ohio. Well, SummerSlam, the biggest party of the summer, coming your way next month. But earlier tonight, on the King and Queen of the Ring kickoff show, we found out who's going to be the next #1 contender for Rhea Ripley's WWE Women's Championship. It was an 8-woman over-the-top rope battle royal, star-studded with the superstars of Monday Night Raw. The irresistible force, the Annihilator, Nia Jax, really dominating a lot throughout this contest. Several eliminations under her belt, including one against the former WWE Women's Champion in Jade, and just a few moments later, the prodigy Roxanne Perez, who thought she had this matchup nearing an end, laying out Stephanie Vaquer, but soon found herself a casualty of Nia Jax. Nia Jax has been headhunting Rhea Ripley for quite some time on Monday Night Raw, hungry for her opportunity, but she got a little bit overconfident, and it allowed La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer, to start the rally here in Seattle. Nia Jax taking her eye off the ball for just a moment, and Stephanie Vaquer would make her pay, sending her over the top rope. And just in a few short weeks since joining Monday Night Raw, La Primera has become #1 contender for Rhea Ripley's gold. And we can confirm that 3 weeks from tonight in the Bell Center in Montreal at Money in the Bank, Stephanie McCare will go one-on-one with Mommy Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's Championship. They've had each other's backs in recent weeks, but 3 weeks from tonight, they will be opponents with a gold on the line live in Montreal. But what about here in Seattle? What about what is to come up next? It is the Queen of the Ring Tournament Finals. AJ Styles punching his ticket to SummerSlam moments ago. Who's going to join him? It's Monday Night Raw's Lyra Valkyria. It's SmackDown's Giulia. First time ever these two women meet one-on-one. Let us take a look at the road to Seattle for these two women. Lyra Valkyria turning away a former women's champion in Tiffany Stratton in the first round, defeating Stephanie McCare this past Monday night on Raw. And as for Giulia, in just a few short weeks since joining SmackDown, defeating the ever-dominant Piper Niven and another former champion in the Judgment Days, Liv Morgan. And all roads have led to the Emerald City, where either Lyra Valkyria or Giulia will etch their name into the annals of history as this year's Queen of the Ring tournament winner and challenge for championship gold next month in Cleveland at the biggest party of the summer.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from Dublin, Ireland, Lyra Valkyria!
Lyra Valkyria joined Monday Night Raw last September. Already, since joining the Red Brand, she has become the inaugural Women's Intercontinental Champion, the first of its kind. And although she lost that gold last month, or I should say back in May at Clash at the Castle, Lyra Valkyria has quickly turned her luck around, advancing through 2 rounds of the Queen of the Ring thus far. Can she turn away the beautiful madness in Giulia and punch her ticket to SummerSlam to challenge for the WWE Women's Championship? But there was a lot of anticipation for Giulia's arrival on SmackDown, and over the last 3 weeks, she has not disappointed. Will the success of the beautiful madness continue or come to a screeching halt?
And her opponent from Tokyo, Japan,
Giulia, world-renowned, has held championships around the globe. Former New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's Champion. Of course, is a decorated superstar in the Stardom promotion. And ever since joining the WWE, she is a former NXT Women's Champion. We saw her a part of the main roster in the Royal Rumble matchup back in January. But she officially finds her home on SmackDown as of 3 weeks ago. She has been undefeated since her arrival, defeating Chelsea Green in her debut matchup, and of course a part of the Queen of the Ring, as you saw moments prior, turning away Piper Niven as well as Liv Morgan 72 hours ago. But now Giulia meets Lyra, first time ever. The stakes couldn't be any higher here in Seattle. The road culminates here for one of these two women. The Queen of the Ring Tournament Finals of 2025 have begun. I am sure a great respect between these two individuals, two incredible competitors, a part of their respective women's divisions, as Lyra Valkyria looking for the quick victory over Giulia. Lyra trying to surprise the beautiful madness. Giulia gonna dish it right back. Maybe she catches Lyra here in the early moments, not just yet. Giulia and Lyra surveying the scene. As we mentioned just a moment ago, two incredible talents, and it looks like Lyra's going to be the first one to strike. Enziguri, standing moonsault by Valkyria, another pinfall. Gets the 2 count that time, but again, although these two women going for some quick pinfalls, I think just trying to feel each other out and maybe get into the other psyche, both of them got to realize it's going to take a hell of a lot more to keep each other down. The Queen of the Ring tournament over the last few weeks, all the proof you need. Giulia hard-hitting, an incredible striker inside of that ring. But dare I say, both of these women, I think, fall into that category of kind of being a full set of tools inside of that ring. They can strike, they can fly, they can get technical. Dare I say, a bit evenly matched is Lyra and Giulia here. Full head of steam. Comes the beautiful Madness, who's looking to rearrange the looks of Lyra off that boot scrape. Giulia looking to keep her foot on the gas as Lyra Valkyria looks to regain control. Off the middle rope with a missile drop kick that just levels a former Intercontinental Champion. And Lyra Valkyria is still alive. Of course, Giulia, part of SmackDown. If she wins this tournament right here tonight and punches her ticket to SummerSlam, she will meet the Women's World Champion, which is right now the Genius of the Sky, Io Sky. Io, of course, ambushed by a returning Raquel Rodriguez this past Thursday night, developing story there. But Lyra Valkyria not looking, I should say not interested in Giulia becoming a top contender on her brand. Lyra wants that same championship opportunity on Monday nights. Lyra now the one on the middle rope. Crossbody wipes the beautiful Madness out. And for putting the pieces to the puzzle together correctly, 3 weeks from tonight, we will see Rhea Ripley defend the WWE Women's Championship against Stephanie Vaquer. If Lyra Valkyria is victorious tonight, she would meet the winner of that matchup August the 24th at SummerSlam. There's Lyra, might have taken her eye off the ball for a moment there, and it allows Giulia to regain control. Neither of these women having an easy route to the Queen of the Ring Tournament Finals tonight. Just ask Giulia or Lyra how much they had to grit their teeth and scratch and claw throughout the tournament thus far. Giulia just narrowly getting through Liv Morgan in the numbers game of the Judgment Day this past Thursday night, and how physical her opening round matchup was against Piper Niven 2 weeks ago. Lyra Valkyria able to outlast the spotlight and all the buzz around Stephanie Vaquer this past Monday Night Raw, of course turning away a former women's champion in Tiffany Stratton in the first round as well. But off a series of knees and a rushing leg sweep, Giulia is the one who's looking to cross the finish line first. Lyra Valkyria may be in trouble. Giulia's got her all kinds of tied up on the shoulders. Around and around we go. Giulia now into the pinfall. And nearly became the Queen of the Ring, but Lyra Valkyria is still into it. And Lyra part of Raw for yet less than a year. Giulia part of SmackDown for less than a month. Both of these women on the verge of writing history here tonight. Who's it gonna be? Exploder out of the corner by the beautiful Madness. Lyra Valkyria down and looking up at the retractable roof here in T-Mobile Park. Needs to find a way to get back into this. There you go. Boot right to the jawline. Now a tilt-to-whirl takes out Giulia. Able to get her off her feet, at least for a moment, but the question now arises if Lyra can make the most of this opportunity. Off the ropes, belly-to-back suplex. Lyra going as high as she could and delivering that slam with emphatic force. We've seen Lyra Valkyria overcome obstacles in the past. Defeating Liv Morgan back at WrestleMania to become the Intercontinental Champion is one of them. Can she outlast Giulia here tonight? There's Giulia, might have goaded Lyra in. Oh, we saw this. We saw this against Piper Niven a few weeks ago. Tying up Lyra Valkyria with a submission hold into the ropes. Of course, can only keep that hold in for a short amount of time. Doesn't want to risk disqualification, but it's enough to get Giulia back into the driver's seat. And now a tilt-a-whirl head scissors of her own. Dishing the fight right back to Raw's Lyra Valkyria. Giulia back on the middle rope. We've already seen her deliver one emphatic missile drop kick in the early moments of this matchup. Could be looking for a repeat here. Giulia now coming for the drop kick again, as we expected. But Lyra Valkyria read her playbook. Costly misstep by the beautiful Madness, and Lyra Valkyria delivers a series of knees, followed by a neck breaker. Julia now the one. On wobbly foundation begins taking right back down to size with that discus leg lariat. Lyra gonna become queen, not just yet. Signature out of the arsenal of Lyra Valkyria is that leg lariat. Giulia ate it right to the mush. Unfortunately for Lyra Valkyria, not enough just yet. Both these women showing their toughness as now Giulia gets sent to the outside. Lyra Valkyria, full head of steam, delivers a pair of boots right to the same face that ate that leg lariat moments ago. And we said earlier on in this matchup off that boot scrape by Giulia, she was trying to rearrange Lyra's facial features. I think Giulia's trying to do the same again. Lyra Valkyria might have did the same to the beautiful madness off those boots. No remorse, no holding back. Giulia now just trying to regain control. She sends Lyra to the barricade. And back between the ropes we go. A double count out ain't gonna do anybody any good. Both these women looking to get the victory in an emphatic way tonight. In between the ropes. Giulia now, strong style forearm. Giulia from Japan, Lyra from Ireland, an international affair here on Independence Day weekend in the States. Lyra Valkyria struggling. Just when you think she's got control of this matchup, Giulia just turns the tables on her. Dare I say, but Lyra Valkyria may have met her match within this Queen of the Ring tournament. Giulia just starting to unload. Lyra's got no answer. The beautiful madness proving why she has had so much success thus far. But Lyra again with a counter. And another enziguri this time with all of her might. Lyra now starting to come unglued. Giulia up against the ropes again. Hip toss by Valkyria. Does Lyra have a gear she could shift into here? Does she have another game plan to keep down Giulia here in Seattle? Giulia brought to the corner. Here's Valkyria. Step up tornado DDT. And she's not done just yet. She's heading to the top. Leg drop lands exactly where she so desired. Valkyria into the lateral, looking for the three, not to be found. Giulia still alive. But a great combination nonetheless. The tornado DDT out of one corner, the leg drop from the top out of another. But Giulia's still alive here, although brought right back down by Lyra Valkyria, who delivers another standing moonsault. Giulia just trying to withstand the agony of this contest. Trying to fight back here as Lyra Valkyria is beginning to rally in the Emerald City. And Giulia just laying those shots on Lyra. Lyra giving her one right back. This thing's turned into a slugfest here. Lighting each other up with open hand slaps, and there's Giulia delivering yet another boot. Could be a knockout blow any day of the week, twice on Sunday. Lyra's struggling to get to her feet, but does nonetheless. Giulia with another belly-to-back suplex of her own. Lyra Valkyria on wobbly foundation. Giulia's looking to write the final chapter of this matchup, and she might have just did it. Giulia to the cover. No! Valkyria still alive. Frustration written all over the body language of the beautiful madness. Seattle on their feet as Lyra Valkyria will not say die. You had to believe that was it. 50,000 strong in T-Mobile Park thought that was it. Giulia just spiking Lyra right on her proverbial crown, but Lyra Valkyria is still alive, and now she's continuing to fight back. Well, she might have survived, but does she have enough to begin to thrive? Lyra Valkyria trying to measure her opponent, pick her next move extremely wisely. Oh, and Giulia now might have just caught Lyra. Stacks her up for a pinfall again. Another near fall, but Lyra's still alive. And another step up enziguri. Might have knocked a couple screws loose of the beautiful madness. Giulia now on the shoulders. Nightwing by Lyra, who goes right to the pinfall. And Lyra Valkyria secures the crown and is queen of the ring.
Here is your winner, Lyra Valkyria.
That was resilience on full display. Lyra Valkyria refused to take her last breath, refused to say die, was hell-bent on standing on the soles of her boots in the middle of that squared circle, proclaiming herself the second ever Queen of the Ring tournament winner. In just 3 weeks, we find out who will walk into SummerSlam as the WWE Women's Champion, whether it's Rhea Ripley or Stephanie McCare, but whoever it is, Lyra Valkyria will be waiting in Cleveland at the biggest party of the summer. Well, coming up next here in Seattle, a massive tag team grudge match is on hand. European Elegance Ludwig Kaiser, the Ring General Gunther, Imperium take on the Second City Saint CM Punk, and the greatest of all time, John Cena. It's coming up next at King and Queen of the Ring. At WrestleMania, the grandest stage in front of the world, John Cena stared down the end, yet walked through it in a war for legacy. The franchise conquered the Ring General, Gunther, and left Philadelphia not just victorious, but immortal. But legends don't fade quietly. Weeks ago, Cena returned with purpose. He declared his final chapter would be written next March in Las Vegas, and that his eyes were set on a record-breaking 17th world title. But that announcement was spoiled by a man who refuses to be forgotten. Gunther himself, still wounded from WrestleMania all those months ago, still burning for retribution. The fire reignited that night, and it threatened to consume everything that these men desired. Just when Imperium seemed ready to leave Cena in ruins, another name stepped right into the fight. CM Punk, the best in the world. A man who's battled Gunther for months in a war over respect, pride, and the path back to gold. Gunther, alongside the precise and ruthless Ludwig Kaiser, now step in a battle with two familiar foes. The stage has been set. At King and Queen of the Ring, it's Gunther and Kaiser versus Cena and Punk. One side fights to end legacies, the other to protect their final shot at greatness. This isn't about the past, it's about unfinished business and the price of pride. On July 6th in Seattle, vengeance takes center stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, the matter is highly. What you're about to witness is dignified deformation executed by SmackDown.
An epic introduction by Ludwig Kaiser for one Ring General, Gunther. But tonight they walk down the aisle as one. Imperium out to rid themselves of the continuous thorns in their side known as CM Punk and John Cena. This will be John Cena's first premium live event appearance since WrestleMania 3 months ago. On that night, John Cena's career was on the line. Gunther looked to rid this entire industry of the franchise once and for all. But on that night in Philadelphia, John Cena handed Gunther what is only his third pinfall loss since Gunther joined the main roster 3 years ago. Gunther has not forgotten, and 3 weeks ago he reignited this rivalry. Tonight, Imperium looks to get back at John Cena for his victory at WrestleMania, all the while getting rid of the distraction, of the nagging interference, of the man who has been a thorn in their side ever since prior to WrestleMania, and that is CM Punk. It'll not be an easy task, but Ludwig Kaiser and Gunther, certainly the combination that can keep down these two legends. And a common enemy has brought together this massive duo. One of the greatest rivalries in the history of this sport now stands side by side in an effort to take out Imperium. CM Punk live and in living color in front of 50,000 strong in T-Mobile Park. CM Punk with his own agenda tonight. It was back in May in Glasgow. After a war with Gunther, he was left looking up at the lights. Thanks to the ring general, Gunther defeating CM Punk on that night. Many have questioned what this rivalry has become internally for CM Punk. Is it about keeping down Gunther and moving on to the next chapter, getting back to the main event and challenging for the WWE Championship? Or is CM Punk trying to prove something within himself, that he still has what it takes to hang with the best of them? Is CM Punk trying to prove to the world that he still is, without a doubt, the bona fide best? Lots of questions that we await answers to. And for John Cena, it's about retribution on Imperium.
And from West Newbury, Massachusetts, weighing in at 251 pounds, the greatest of all time, John Cena!
We may be in the home of the MLB's Mariners, but Cena's got on those old school supersonic colors. Back where he belongs, on the grand stage of a premium live event. And it is a familiar foe that attests Cena tonight. Cena's been battling Imperium since last fall. From SmackDown to Raw, to WrestleMania, to King and Queen of the Ring. But no matter the opponent, John Cena's here with purpose. 3 weeks ago, he announced his retirement tour, that he'd be hanging up the jorts next year at WrestleMania. Cena's living for each and every moment inside of that squared circle. John Cena told Gunther if he wants some, he can come get some. And tonight we're gonna see it. It's Imperium versus the dream team of Punk and Cena live here in Seattle. CM Punk and Gunther gonna kick off Oh, maybe not. Gunther messing with the psyche of CM Punk and tagging in Ludwig Kaiser immediately off the opening bell. Well, Punk and Cena, now their second time teaming up as of late, as they were victorious this past Monday night on Raw. My goodness, CM Punk not hesitating to strike. What a knee. Well, as we were mentioning, Punk and Cena defeating American-made Brutus and Julius of the Creed brothers this past Monday night in Los Angeles. Celebration was short-lived as Imperium arrived on the scene, ambushed CM Punk and John Cena, and ensured they wouldn't be getting back to their feet in a moment's notice with a steel chair attack. Imperium with the last laugh on Monday Night Raw, looking to soften up their opponents for Seattle tonight. You gotta believe that Punk and Cena are hell-bent on victory no matter the cost against these two bitter rivals. Ludwig Kaiser, huge opportunity for him tonight. We've talked about in recent weeks how Kaiser has continuously rubbed elbows with one of the, or I should say a lot of the top players here in the WWE, whether it was on SmackDown or over on Monday Night Raw. There's a tag made to Gunther. Now the ring general wants to come in after the damage has already been done and CM Punk's down on the mat. Gunther looking to do what he did to CM Punk back in Clash at the Castle, and that's score a victory over the self-proclaimed best in the world, who is trying to figure out what's next for himself in this industry. Gunther, ever since joining Monday Night Raw in the draft a couple of months ago, been doing all he can, trying to etch his name as the #1 contender for the WWE Championship, but CM Punk and now John Cena have stood in his way. Oh boy, Gunther's got nobody to blame but himself for reigniting this rivalry with Cena. But obviously that loss a couple of months ago at WrestleMania has not sat in well with the ring general. And the first sight of the franchise 3 weeks ago in Sacramento set Gunther off. Gunther all over CM Punk in the early moments here. Punk already feeling the pain and punishment that Imperium brings to that squared circle. Might just be an uphill battle for Punk and Cena tonight. Up against the cunning, European elegance, the devilish Ludwig Kaiser, and of course one of the most dominating champions in WWE history in Gunther. Just unloading on CM Punk in the first few minutes of this matchup. Ludwig Kaiser back in here now. Him and CM Punk have met inside of that ring, whether it's been a tag action or singles affairs a couple of times over the last few months. Kaiser and Cena no strangers to each other, and they just met again as Kaiser knocked Cena off the apron. Ludwig Kaiser, we were talking about it a moment ago, but he has rubbed elbows with a lot of top talent here in the WWE. The only thing keeping him from taking that next step on Monday Night Raw has been the lack of results, has not been able to get those victories over the likes of CM Punk, John Cena, even the undisputed champion Bron Breakker a couple of weeks ago. Kaiser wants to start seeing his name in the headlines, wants to start finding more success. He's got to get the job done when it matters most. Tonight is one of those nights. And CM Punk is worse for wear right now as Imperium is just having their way with the Second City Saint here in Seattle. On the outside. Oh, and look at Kaiser just pulling John Cena off the apron. Completely unnecessary. Just a little mind game, a little cheap shot by Kaiser. Cena hasn't even been legal in this matchup yet, and Kaiser's already taken not one, but 2 shots at him. Just goes to show you that Imperium will stop at any and all costs. Will not stop at any at all costs, we shall say, to keep down Punk and Cena tonight. Oh, look at CM Punk able to land on his feet. Big time reversal there, and he finally catches Kaiser. Fisherman suplex into the bridge, looking for the victory. Kaiser able to pop the shoulder, man. Imagine if this matchup was over in an instant like that. Tag made to the greatest of all time, the franchise, John Cena. Cena returned to Monday Night Raw 3 weeks ago, announced his intentions of trying to obtain a 17th WWE World title. Also announced he'd be hanging it up, retiring next March in Las Vegas at WrestleMania. But it was the emergence of Gunther on that night that set a new chapter for this rivalry. And now Cena's looking to let loose on Ludwig Kaiser here at King and Queen of the Ring. Kaiser has felt the wrath of Cena in the past. They've had numerous singles encounters over on SmackDown leading up to WrestleMania. There's a counter by Kaiser and a tag made to Gunther, and now Cena and Gunther back inside of the ring. Officially for the first time since WrestleMania. Of course, if we're throwing aside some of those ambushes, some of those brawls and Raw in recent weeks, it's the first time these two are legally going at each other since the grandest stage, and John Cena's just looking to pick up where he left off back in Philadelphia. From the East Coast to the West Coast, Cena and Gunther meet again. Gunther already being reminded of the tenacity, of the toughness that John Cena brings to that 20x20 squared circle. Gunther nearly ended the career of John Cena back at WrestleMania. There's another cheap shot. This time on CM Punk. And now a German suplex by Gunther. Folded up Cena. Gunther was the one who wanted to end John Cena's career. Now Cena plans to end it, on his own accord next year. I'm sure Gunther would like to bring John Cena to an early retirement here tonight. All over John Cena now, and if Imperium can dictate the pace, not allow a rally from John Cena and CM Punk, two fan favorites here in Seattle, it could be a long night for this dream team, and it could be a coast to victory for Gunther and Kaiser. Certainly just a hypothetical, don't want to get ahead of ourselves here. Oh, wait a minute, Gunther! Last Symphony on John Cena! And Cena able to kick out. Gunther pulling out some of his best on the franchise. Well, Cena able to pop the shoulder up, and part of me feels like Gunther knew Cena was going to be able to survive that, being so familiar with Cena's game, but Gunther not going to hesitate to pull out the best that he has to offer to inflict as much punishment as he can on the future Hall of Famer. Tag made to Ludwig Kaiser nonetheless, who takes another cheap shot at CM Punk. You know, Raw management should have just made this matchup a tornado tag. Let them all go at it, since Imperium's gonna go at both guys anyway. They took his eye off Cena for a moment, and John Cena able to muster Ludwig Kaiser down. Imperium may not, or I should say should not, underestimate their opponents tonight. Two all-stars in the game, future Hall of Famers. Kaiser now hoisted on top by the franchise player. Cena could be going for a little superplex here. Oh, but Kaiser, couple of shots and avoids it. Cena put himself in position for disaster and got shoved off the top rope by Kaiser. And Cena now taken down once more. There's that soccer-like kick by Kaiser. And CM Punk gonna break things up, but you gotta believe John Cena's bell has been rung here in T-Mobile Park. And Kaiser again. How many falls are Cena and Punk gonna take thanks to cheap shots? Cena now, Olympic slam. Shout out to the Hall of Famer Kurt Angle. Action-packed this tag team matchup has been nonetheless. John Cena trying to rally. Kaiser looking up at the lights. Cena with a little 5-knuckle shuffle. That's gonna do it. Maybe not. Gunther ensuring this matchup isn't done just yet. Oh, look at Cena dishing the fight right back to Imperium. One cheap shot for the 5 or 6 they've implored. I think it's fair game. 5-knuckle shuffle by Cena does not put Kaiser away, but it's got him weakened, and a much-needed tag to CM Punk. Punk and Cena know each other like the back of their hands. The double hip toss by the dream team of CM Punk and John Cena. Ludwig Kaiser now on the apron, and down he goes. Drop kick by the best in the world. Punk now. Crossbody to the outside. CM Punk has not forgotten about the words from Kaiser a couple of weeks ago. Kaiser saying CM Punk is oh so desperate to remind the world that he's the best in the world, telling CM Punk that he just doesn't have it anymore. Punk on top. Macho Man-esque elbow. But another kick out in the middle of the Emerald City. CM Punk going high risk, high reward, and it paid off. But Ludwig Kaiser still alive here at T-Mobile. Oh, man. Nearly taking CM Punk's head off his shoulders with that uppercut, and down goes Cena again. Now Punk trying to fight back. Trying to let loose. Kaiser off a reversal. Kick right to the knee. Sends Punk into Imperium territory now, and Kaiser with a combination in the corner. Down goes Punk again. Tag made to the ring general, the man who once held the heavyweight championship on SmackDown for 275 days. Takes out CM Punk again. Again, the last time Gunther and Punk competed in a matchup against one another was May 31st in Glasgow, Scotland, where Gunther defeated CM Punk on that night. Punk has not forgotten, and he's become hell-bent on putting Gunther to sleep with a GTS. Gunther in the corner now. Punk takes him out with a knee. Tag made to John Cena. We are back where we started 3 weeks ago in Sacramento when Gunther ambushed John Cena from behind. Now Cena, couple of closed fists, bringing that Boston Street style to the middle of Seattle. Counter by Gunther. Now a suplex variation takes Cena down again. And the ring general, such a tough puzzle to figure out. There's a reason he's only been pinned 3 times since 2022 on the main roster. Cena giving the fight right back to him. Cena, attitude adjustment. Never disrespect the franchise. The attitude adjustment after Gunther was showing disrespect to Cena. Ludwig Kaiser breaking things up. Cena taking care of Kaiser. Oh, Punk and Cena got to capitalize. They got Kaiser down for a moment. Gunther looking up at the lights. Cena's going to tag in Punk. Maybe Punk's got a GTS or something in his arsenal to keep down the ring general. Springboard. Clothesline. 2 future Hall of Famers. The Dream Team. The All-Stars. Starting to rally. Gunther has got to be weakened. He's got to be wounded. Punk needs an exclamation point, and he needs it now. CM Punk scaling the ropes. I don't know if this is wise, but Gunther obviously on a wobbly foundation, and Gunther able to shot CM Punk out of the sky. Right to the abdominal. And it levels Punk again. There goes the rally for Punk and Cena. And a tag made to Kaiser. Gunther obviously feeling the pressure of the moment. Kaiser now looking to wipe out CM Punk with the DDT. And the best in the world still alive, not giving Kaiser the oh so satisfactory victory he wanted. Either way you spin it, this has been an incredible tag team grudge match here in Seattle. Kaiser's going up. GTS! But there's Gunther. Not even a 1 count. Referee Rod Zapata might have got caught up in the crossfire as CM Punk takes out Kaiser, and now he's got his eyes on Gunther. Gunther getting dropped with the back body drop on the apron. Back inside the ring, and Kaiser's gonna take him down. So much action here in Seattle between these 4 Monday Night Raw superstars. Ludwig Kaiser now sending CM Punk into the corner. Looking for the combination again. It worked once, and he goes back to the well. Now Ludwig Kaiser. I think John Cena might have saw him coming, but obviously everybody a little bit fatigued, unable to capitalize. CM Punk barely getting to his feet, and Gunther just knocks him down to size again. And now's where Gunther going. Gunther's going to the outside. Gunther looking to work on John Cena. The ring general letting the franchise have it on the outskirts of the squared circle here. Oh, John Cena now giving the fight right back to him. CM Punk going to be coming for the save. Cena don't need no help. There's a suplex to Gunther at ringside. CM Punk now coming to pick the bones. You gotta believe another attitude adjustment or another GTS on either Gunther or Kaiser would be the final nail in the coffin of this match. There's the back suplex right on the knee. One of the most dominating champions in wrestling history may be out for good as CM Punk is once again scaling the ropes. This is risky business here. Oh my goodness, Gunther just snatching CM Punk out of midair. A scary sight from the ring general. Oh, and tried to take out Cena again. Cena saying nuh-uh. Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser clearly trying to divide and conquer at the given moment, and down goes Cena finally. We'll CM Punk now. Gunther had his back turned. Punk gonna make him pay. Fatigue obviously wearing on all four of these men, but CM Punk gonna push the pace nonetheless. Punk taking out Kaiser. Hey, it's an eye for an eye. All's fair in love and war in this high-profile bout. Both these men running on E. A war of attrition has been this tag team matchup. Punk and Gunther right in the next chapter of their history that has developed over the last couple of months. Down goes Cena again. Imperium hell-bent on dividing and conquering these two future Hall of Famers. And now a powerbomb on CM Punk. This one's over. A massive win for Imperium.
Here are your winners, Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser, Imperium.
Well, we knew CM Punk and John Cena were going to be a formidable duo. They were going to be a test. They were going to be a challenge. But I guess the story here is never bet against Imperium. Ludwig Kaiser's biggest victory of his career, alongside the ring general Gunther, who has once again reminded us just how great he really is from bell to bell. A disappointing loss for Cena and Punk, but an oh so satisfying win for Imperium. Well, it's been a great night thus far here in Seattle, but this Thursday, SmackDown comes to the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We'll be live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday night. Money in the Bank qualifiers for both the men and women will continue after kicking off tomorrow on Monday Night Raw. You gotta wonder who's gonna be headed into Minneapolis on Thursday as the World Heavyweight Champion. We find out coming up next. It is a triple threat matchup. Main event, Jey Uso, the Judgment Day's Finn Balor, and the reigning defending champion, the Mad Dragon, Ilja Dragunov. At Clash at the Castle, Finn Balor entered the arena. A general without his army. No Judgment Day. No backup. Just Balor and the World Heavyweight Champion, Ilja Dragunov. Through grit and glory, they fought like warriors. But when the dust settled, it was Dragunov who stood tall, battle-worn, but still champion. And in the shadows of Glasgow, another storm was brewing. For months, Finn Balor and Jey Uso have been locked in a bitter war. Interference, chaos, and loads of anarchy. Balor fueled by frustration, Jey driven by justice. But through the noise stood one constant, Ilja Dragunov, a champion who doesn't hide, a fighter who respects those who earn their place. He saw the fire in Jey Uso, the hunger, the resilience. He saw a challenger worthy of the stage. Ilja also knows Balor isn't done until he takes what he believes is rightfully his. So now, at King and Queen of the Ring, the battle lines are drawn. Main event, Jey Uso, fighting not just for gold, but to silence the darkness of the Judgment Day that has haunted him. The Prince, Finn Balor, the relentless leader who will do whatever it takes to claim the gold and all the power. Ilja Dragunov, the iron-willed champion who embraces pain, thrives under pressure, and lives for moments just like this. 3 warriors, 1 title, 1 path forward. At King and Queen of the Ring, only one survives the storm.
The following is a triple threat match and is for the World Heavyweight Championship. Introducing the challenger, representing the Usos, from San Francisco, California, weighing in at 242 pounds. Main event, Jey Uso!
He is one half of one of the most decorated tag teams of all time. He is a former United States champion, and now he looks to truly become main event Jey Uso. Arena to arena, all around the world, same song, everybody on their feet for Jey Uso. An incredible sight here in T-Mobile Park. 50,000 strong, ready to party alongside the man who could be on the verge of becoming World Heavyweight Champion. Standing in his way, one of his career's greatest rivals, and the Prince Finn Balor, and of course the champion himself, the Tsar, the man who felt that Jey Uso was more than deserving of a shot at the World Championship, and that's Ilja Dragunov. A tall task for every man in this matchup, but on the other side of the opposite bell, the richest prize that SmackDown has to offer. Jey Uso bringing the party to Seattle. Finn Balor about to walk down the aisle and be an absolute buzzkill to that party. Balor is here to right the wrong of Glasgow.
And introducing the challenger, representing the Judgment Day, from Bray, County Wicklow, Ireland, weighing in at 190 pounds, Finn Balor.
Well, Finn Balor has already been a topic of discussion here tonight at King and Queen of the Ring. You saw what happened on the kickoff show. The brawl that must have ensued in the backstage area that spilled out to T-Mobile Park. I don't know if J.D. McDonough started it. I don't know if Damian Priest was hunting down the Judgment Day. All I know is that it concluded with Balor and Priest coming to blows at the top of the aisle. As we mentioned earlier tonight, both men threatened to stay out of each other's business for the rest of the evening, or else they were risking fines and possible suspensions. But Finn Balor better be focused on the task at hand. He is on the verge of another shot at the World Heavyweight Championship, the title that eluded him back in May at Clash at the Castle. And not only does he now have to contest Ilja Dragunov once again, but Jey Uso also involved in the fray. Finn Balor said this past Thursday night on SmackDown that after tonight, Jey Uso floats into obscurity with his brother Jimmy. Remains to be seen if Balor's promise will come to fruition here in Seattle. Jey Uso gonna give this matchup his best. Balor gonna bring hell. But the violence and suffering that this man brings to the table, unmatched by any other. The Mad Dragon, ready to soar through the skies of Seattle, hoping to retain his gold.
And introducing the champion from Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 187 pounds, the World Heavyweight Champion, Ilja Dragunov.
Maybe no man personifies grit and glory quite like the Tsar. A man who is tossed around, beaten down, broken down by numerous individuals time and time again, has risen to the top of this industry and has planted his flag firmly on Thursday Night SmackDown as the head of the brand. Now Ilja Dragunov, here in front of 50,000 plus in Seattle, looks to play his greatest symphony yet. He was the one who threw down the gauntlet. He knew Balor wanted a shot. He knew Jade deserved a shot. Ilja said, you both want me? Come get me. Meet me in T-Mobile Park. I'll put the gold on the line and we can go to war once and for all. Ilja Dragunov won the world title back at WrestleMania in a triple threat matchup, so he is no stranger to these surroundings. Of course, anything goes. There are no countouts, there are no disqualifications in a triple threat matchup. Truly anything can happen here at King and Queen of the Ring. Ilja Dragunov does not have to be involved in the final equation to lose his world title tonight. How will this matchup progress? We're about to find out. The bell has sounded here in Seattle. Clearly some loud supporters of Jey Uso amongst this audience here in T-Mobile. Finn Balor looking to be aggressive, looking to be dominant, looking to get through his two arch rivals here tonight at King and Queen of the Ring, but it is going to be a tall task either way you spin it. Talk about it all the time in multi-man matches. It is so hard to get sustained momentum. As soon as you got your focus on one superstar, the other's coming to clock you in the back of your head. Fatigue sets in a hell of a lot earlier. Triple threat matches are not for a weakened individual. You better come in bringing your best because they demand it. Jey Uso, not only out to win the world championship tonight, but also out for a physical therapy session by beating the daylights out of Finn Balor. Already seeing in the last 45 seconds or so how difficult it is to get sustained momentum in a triple threat affair. But dare I say, it looks like Ilja Dragunov and Jey Uso have all four of their eyes on one man, and that's the Judgment Day's Finn Balor. Both Ilja and Jey have been put through the ringer by the Judgment Day for quite some time, and there's Jey Uso showing Ilja Dragunov that he's willing to do anything it takes to leave Seattle with the gold, trying to pin Finn Balor behind the back of the Tsar. Gonna take more than that. Ilja now with a big boot. Ilja Dragunov starting to let loose on Jey Uso, luckily keeping his eye on Finn, who went and grabbed an equalizer in that steel chair. Anything goes in this type of matchup. Balor now sent to the outside by Ilja Dragunov, whose wheels are clearly spinning in that devilish mind. Here comes Dragunov with a suicide dive to the outside. Keep your eyes on Jey, because Jey's got one of his own and he takes out Ilja. Already, Seattle coming unglued for these three SmackDown superstars who are letting loose. Finn Balor caught between a rock and a hard place tonight. Ilja Dragunov wanting to give both of these men the shot they so desired. Jey Uso with the opportunity of a lifetime. Now seemingly at a moment's notice, the attention is back on beating down the Prince. Literally stuck between champion and fellow challenger is Finn Balor. Well, this matchup free to roam wherever Technically here in T-Mobile Arena, as it is a triple threat with no countouts or DQ. Balor sent to the barricade that time by Ilja Dragunov. Those two men had a wrestling masterclass back on May 31st in Glasgow, Scotland. Tonight going to be a little bit of a different story in the chaos that a triple threat brings. Referee Chad Patton there, strictly to count for a pinfall or call for a submission. Oh, there's Balor. Double noggin knocker. Looked like Ilja and Jay were going for a double team maneuver on Finn. Maybe every man for himself, but a common enemy. And I'm sure the last thing Ilja and Jay want is to allow the championship to get in the grasp of the Judgment Day Clubhouse. Ilja going at Jay that time before Jay can go at him like he did a few moments ago. A brawl has ensued at ringside here at King and Queen of the Ring. As Finn Balor now sending Ilja right into the steel post and sends Jay right to the barricade. And Finn Balor better bring his best, and so far it looks like he is trying to outlast these two rivals. Wait a minute, Jey Uso clear it off the announce table. Well, Jay obviously with disaster in mind for one of these two superstars. Jay gonna try anything he needs to do to leave tonight as the heavyweight champion of the world. Meanwhile, back inside of the ring, Dragunov drops Balor with a German. Jey Uso now gonna meet him in there. Suplexing the world's champion. Jey Uso, Ilja Dragunov, that'd be a hell of a one-on-one match to see down the line, but tonight, oh, wait a minute. I think Finn Balor got out of the way, and referee Chad Patton caught some of that super kick. Balor laying out Jay. And now Balor with Ilja, 1916 to win the world title. Referee Chad Patton better shake off the cobwebs, but there's Jey Uso, ensuring this matchup isn't done yet. What a Pele on Jay. Finn Balor going at any moving, living, breathing organism inside of that ring. And now Jay, neck breaker. Referee Chad Patton again trying to go to the cover. I think he's seeing stars right now. Nonetheless, Ilja Dragunov back inside the ring trying to survive this matchup. Survive the circumstances that he put himself in, and of course retain his world title in the process. Ilja putting the brakes on as all three of these men try to measure each other up, pick their spots wisely. Ilja now starting to come unglued on Finn Balor. There he goes. Jay from behind, and this is exactly what we discussed in the opening moments of this matchup. Not one of these men have had sustained momentum for multiple minutes at a time like you could see in a one-on-one contest. Another suicide dive by Jay, this time on Finn Balor at ringside. Gonna continue the offense and a suplex on the floor. Jey Uso starting to feel it here in Seattle. Better keep his eyes on Ilja Dragunov, who wipes him out with a clothesline. A lot of power in that frame the man Dragon possesses. Sending Finn back inside the ring. Of course, the decision has to take place between the ropes tonight. Ilja Dragunov, Constantine special on Finn Balor. And Jey Uso realizing the situation at hand, saving the day for his world title chances. I'm sure loads of respect between Jay and Ilja, or else Ilja probably wouldn't have gifted Jay this world title match to begin with. When that bell sounds, everything goes out the window. It's all in the name of the world's title. Ilja now set to the corner. Finn Balor center of the top rope. Jay takes out Finn once more. Maybe trying to divide and conquer and focus on one superstar is the best case scenario for everybody in this match. Ilja on top, one at the senton, nobody home. And now it's Ilja in the corner. Jey Uso with a splash. Around and around we go, and Jay levels the champion. Finn Balor's got a chair. Well, Finn Balor, I don't know if he's seeing cross-eyed or not, but Jey Uso was right there. Ain't no way he was going to get a 3 count. And what a matchup this has been thus far. Physical as all hell, chaotic as we expected as Jey Uso goes flying to the outside by Finn. Ilja after Finn Balor inside of the ring right now. Ilja Dragunov defeated Finn Balor back on May 31st at Clash of the Castle. Balor not only attacked Ilja Dragunov on the following SmackDown, attacked him once again back at Beach Blast after Ilja Dragunov had defeated Carmelo Hayes in the main event. And it looked like another reversal that time, as both Ilja and Jey seem to be eyeing up a tandem offense on Balor. Ilja Dragunov now brought to the corner, hoisted on top by former United States champion and main event Jey Uso. Oh man, I don't know what Jey's got in mind. Could be going for an avalanche. Samoan drop on Dragunov. But Balor with a chair shot to the back of Jey. And Balor may have this matchup as Ilja's dazed, but Jey Uso's still alive. You see fatigue starting to be written all over the body language of these superstars. We told you it sets in a hell of a lot earlier when the action's non-stop. No chance to catch your breath. Not a minute to get R&R in this kind of contest. Ilja Dragunov now, prime target for the Prince. Main event Jey Uso trying to get back into the fight. Balor looking to level Ilja with that brain buster. Jey now from behind. Go for the neck breaker. Finn Balor had it scouted. All these men so familiar with each other's arsenals. Balor going up. He could be looking for a coup de grace on Ilja. Jey Uso, however, trying to stop him dead in his tracks. Balor takes out Jey. German by Ilja. My God. What a matchup for the World Heavyweight Championship here at King and Queen of the Ring. Jey Uso taken out. Ilja and Balor on the outside of the ring. Oof. Sent right into those diamond-plated steel steps. Jey Uso now on the outside, keeping his distance from the Mad Dragon and the Prince, at least for the moment, however. And Jey, well, they spoke too soon. Samoan drop on Dragunov. Oh, wait a minute, Finn Balor. Balor with a 1916 at ringside on Jey. And takes out Ilja with a knee. Balor standing tall on champion and fellow challenger. And now goes for the suicide dive, and Ilja sidesteps. This is chaotic. This is brutal. This is violent here in Seattle. All in the name of leaving T-Mobile with the world's title to Uranagi by Dragunov. Jey Uso now from behind, going after the heavyweight champion of the world. Now it's Jey who's the only one. Stand on the soles of his shoes. Eyes locked on Finn Balor. I don't know what Jey's got in mind, but it's got to be in the name of winning the world title. And Jey would have just knocked Balor's lights out. Going after Ilja Dragunov now. One at a time, just trying to take care of business. And it's so hard to keep down superstars in this matchup. Another kick on Balor. Ilja just trying to get his wits about him and survey the scene from a distance. All the while, Jey and Balor are just letting loose. The rivalry between those two men dates all the way back to last year's WrestleMania. A long story between the Usos, Balor, the Judgment Day, albeit an old version of the Judgment Day, but Finn Balor reignited that rivalry a couple of months ago. Jey Uso looking to put a nail in that history, in that coffin once and for all. Ilja Dragunov now getting back into the fight. Remember, this matchup can only end in between those ropes, ladies and gentlemen. Until then, it's just a fight, a war of attrition. Well, Jey cleared off this announce table earlier. Now he's got Finn Balor hoisted on it. Well, I don't know what Jay had in mind, but Balor obviously trying to avoid disaster. Back inside the ring goes the Prince, and Jey Uso gonna take him off his feet with a crossbody. Finn Balor crawling to the corner. Ilja Dragunov catching Jey Uso's attention, scraping his face across the top rope. Float over, DDT. Main event, Jay is hitting his groove right now. Finn Balor with another 1916 on Jey Uso. He's gonna win the title. Not just yet. Ilja Dragunov saying, "You're not taking my title away without keeping me down for good." Ilja puts the brakes on, takes out Balor with a hard shot. Ilja Dragunov once again with his eyes locked, trying to take care of one man, focused on the other. Well, Jey Uso now interrupted Ilja's plans. Seattle on their feet as Jey Uso takes out Ilja Dragunov. Well, Jay might have had an opportunity to finish off Ilja there, but he elects to go after Balor. Jay's got to be sure that he does not let his history and his frustration and his anger towards Finn Balor blind him in sight of winning the World Championship tonight. Balor now put on the announce table by main event Jey Uso. Jay scaling the ropes. Uso splash from the top through the announce table. Balor laid to waste. Ilja, however, from behind, sends Jey Uso back inside the ring. Torpedo Moscow by the Czar. Ilja to the cover. Balor starting to stir, but he's too late. Ilja retains the World Championship.
Here is your winner, and still the World Heavyweight Champion, Ilja Dragunov.
Jey Uso so hell-bent on ensuring that he got some payback on Finn Balor and ensuring that the championship did not go to the Judgment Day, that he might have eliminated himself in the process. The Uso splash takes Finn Balor out for a moment. Ilja Dragunov sends Jey Uso back inside the ring. The Torpedo Moscow right on the mush. And the Mad Dragon once again soaring through the skies, this time in the beautiful city of Seattle. Ilja threw out the challenge, knowing the odds were stacked against him, and he rises to the occasion again, leaving tonight still heavyweight champion of the world. On Sunday, July 27th, the future changes in an instant. Live from the Bell Center in Montreal, the City of Saints, the fight capital of Canada, Money in the Bank returns, presented by Noah Nation Gaming channel memberships. Men and women will climb the ladders, not just for a briefcase, but for destiny. Inside that case, opportunity, power, a golden contract that can be cashed in anytime, anywhere for a world championship. Some rise to the moment, others fall beneath it. And in Montreal, with the eyes of the world watching, history will be made. New challengers will emerge, champions will feel the pressure, and new names will hold the keys to it all. Opportunity is the name of the game on Sunday night, July 27th at Money in the Bank. In just 3 weeks, we head to the Bell Center in Montreal for the 2025 Money in the Bank. But tonight, we are here in Seattle in front of 50,000 strong in T-Mobile Park for King and Queen of the Ring. It has been one hell of a night, and it is time for your main event, courtesy of Monday Night Raw. The Visionary, Seth freaking Rollins, looks to get back to the promised land, looks to win the championship that he once held. Standing in his way, the unpredictable badass, the ever-dominant Bron Breakker, who has held the gold since the last Raw of 2024. The WWE Championship is on the line next. Power, prestige, a prophecy fulfilled. On a night where kings and queens are crowned, two warriors stand above the rest, ready to define an era. Bron Breakker, undeniable, the undisputed WWE Champion, a hybrid of force and fury, bred for greatness and built for gold. Last month, he stood toe-to-toe with a game viper, Randy Orton, and walked out of Clash at the Castle still on top. But for Bron, domination is never enough. He welcomes every challenge with open arms and clenched fists. Enter Seth Rollins, the Visionary, the Revolutionary, the man who warned us over a month ago that he is coming for the throne. And now, his promise echoes through the halls of destiny. Rollins isn't here just for another match. He's here to reclaim greatness. It's not about bad blood. It's not about betrayal. It's about two champions of different times colliding at the peak of their ability. At King and Queen of the Ring, it's not personal. It's monumental. Two of the absolute best, one WWE Championship, and one undeniable truth that only one man leaves Seattle as champion.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Men is for the undisputed WWE Championship.
It is main event time in Seattle. In front of 50,000 strong, in the home of the Mariners, T-Mobile Park, the undisputed WWE Championship is on the line. The number one contender, the Visionary, the Revolutionary, Seth freaking Rollins, looks to reclaim the gold that he has not held since March of last year. So much of Rollins' 2024 and first half of 2025 engulfed in rivalries, whether it been with the Bloodline or the Judgment Day. But over the last few months, Seth Rollins has only got one goal in mind: getting back to the promised land, becoming WWE Champion. Seattle serenading the number one contender ahead of one of the biggest matches of his entire career. And do we got any dogs in Seattle? The unpredictable, badass, undisputed WWE Champion won that gold by cashing in Money in the Bank on December 30th of last year. He has since retained that championship over the likes of Damian Priest, AJ Styles, CM Punk, Randy Orton. And who could forget the triple threat matchup back at Backlash in April, where he won against Roman Reigns and pinned Seth Rollins in the triple threat bout. But tonight is a different story. Tonight, it's one-on-one. Tonight, nobody but Seth Rollins himself stands in his way of winning the championship. Can Rollins overcome what has been an unstoppable force on Monday Night Raw? The rise of Bron Breakker will be looked at for years to come. High profile, high stakes, high reward in your main event, live from Seattle.
Introducing the challenger from Davenport, Iowa, weighing in at 217 pounds, Seth freaking Rollins! And his opponent from Woodstock, Georgia, weighing in at 230 pounds, the undisputed WWE Champion, Bron Breakker!
This past Monday night on Raw, Bron Breakker marched down the aisle and stood eye to eye with his challenger. The last look that these two men gave each other before right here and now. It's for all the marbles, the WWE Championship. Will Rollins get back to the top, or will Bron Breakker's dominance continue? The eyes of the world, and most importantly 50,000 strong in Seattle, all focused on this main event affair. The bell has sounded and we are underway. Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker, you see on the back of his singlet, it says the future, something that at one point in time Seth Rollins called himself. Rollins, over the last near 13 years of the main roster in WWE, has been a main event player. Bron Breakker on his first run in the main event right now. Rollins far from done, still as hungry as ever. Wants to get back the WWE Championship that he's held multiple times over. Bron Breakker feeling the early storm, trying to weather it as Rollins looks to dictate the pace. Easier said than done when you're in there with the champion who's been oh so dominant. Just ask some of the superstars that Bron Breakker has been in the ring with in one-on-one action over the last few months. CM Punk at WrestleMania, Randy Orton back in Glasgow. Superstars who thought they had Bron Breakker figured out, thought they had this young man beat, but somehow, through this kind of brute strength and determination inside, continued on to retain his WWE Championship. Military press early as Seth Rollins just feeling the brunt of this assault by Breakker. Said Rollins was looking to dictate the pace. I think Bron Breakker's got a different plan. Looking for his physical prowess to overcome Seth Rollins in the early moments here at King and Queen of the Ring. Breakker belly to belly out of the corner early. Rollins on the outside here, but Bron Breakker over the top rope, showing Seth there is nowhere to run for the unpredictable badass. And maneuvers like that are why he earned the title of Unpredictable. Trying to get the hell out of Dodge, but Bron Breakker saying not today. Bron Breakker now eyes locked on a man he has pinned once before, albeit in a triple threat matchup. But that's got to be a confidence booster for Bron coming into this nonetheless. Another military press. This time, follows up with a standing moonsault. Into the cover, goes the champion. And Rollins able to kick out. Man, Bron Breakker all over Seth Rollins these last minute or so. Bron Breakker, a man who we have described as just built different, cut from a different cloth. Seth Rollins Looking to show Bron that as great as he is, he doesn't have enough to keep down the Visionary one-on-one. Cuts Breaker in half in the corner, goes high with the knee, and now full head of steam, delivers a second knee. Last time Seth Rollins held the WWE Championship, he defended it against Royal Rumble match winner that year, Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. That was dating back to March of 2024. All this time later, once again, Rollins finds himself in a one-on-one equation for the gold. But Bron Breaker's the obstacle that stands in his way. And the ropes again. Bron Breakker is just throwing Rollins around this ring every chance he gets. Seth Rollins might have bit off more than he could chew when he called out Bron Breakker and called his shot for the title. Bron just continues to get better, continues to grow, continues to become more dominant and intimidating. The confidence of this young man on full display week in and week out on Monday Night Raw. And Seth Rollins is just no match at the given moment. The Frankensteiner standing. A freak athlete is Bron. Not enough to keep Rollins down yet, but Rollins has got to be thinking to himself, the hell do I got to do? Not just to get this match done, but just to get this match going in his direction. For the most part, it's been one-way traffic. Another belly-to-belly by Bron. And Rollins now rolling to the outside, trying to get his breath. Bron Breakker just keeping his foot on the gas, not giving Seth any room to breathe. There's a forearm by the #1 contender, and now a leg drop, guillotine style, off the middle rope. Maybe Rollins still has some daylight here before the going gets a little bit too tough. Bron now sent to the corner. Seth Rollins gonna need to get his hands dirty. Buckle bomb on the champion. Bron Breakker taken out in a moment's notice. Seth going up. Willing to throw caution in the wind if it means leaving with the title. Frog splash on Bron. Not over yet. Bron Breakker still into this matchup. Seth Rollins trying to do his damnedest to strike while he had the champion wounded. And there's Bron Breakker. A reversal already. Oh no, and now just grabbing Seth Rollins by the throat. Military press position into the power slam. Seth Rollins may be done. Able to get the shoulder up. Bron Breakker, dare I say, for the first time in this matchup, showing a little bit of frustration. Seth Rollins, a veteran of this game, future Hall of Famer, former multiple-time world champion for a reason. Oh, Rollins snatched out of midair. Man, I did not think this matchup was going to be, dare I say, as uneven as it has been. Rollins has had some glimmers, don't get me wrong, but Bron Breakker clearly dictating the progression of this contest. Just goes to show you what we said before. Bron just continuing to get better. Went from being an underdog to being the top dog. Seth Rollins fighting an uphill battle as Bron Breakker gets caught. Coming off the middle rope, Rollins with a shot to the abdominal. Trying to take the wind out of his sails. Now a forearm to the back of the neck. I don't know if Rollins was expecting this kind of mismatch thus far, but he's got to dig down deep into that bag of tricks. Find a different blueprint. They don't call him the architect for no reason. Let's see what Seth Rollins can muster up as he's got the champion a little bit dazed. Rollins grabbing a hold, and now another forearm to the back of the neck, just trying to knock Bron Breakker's lights out. Seth Rollins with the champion, teeter-tottering up against those ropes. Rollins now sending Bron Breakker to the outskirts here in the Emerald City. Full head of steam. Here comes Seth with a senton through the ropes. Once again, we say that Seth Rollins will throw caution in the wind if it means leaving the Emerald City as the undisputed champion. And Rollins with a knee off the apron, taking Bron off his feet. Well, as great as Bron Breakker has been up to this point, and as great as he has been already tonight, is Seth Rollins, a man with more big match experience, the veteran of the game, about to kick things into a different gear and take the championship away. Pedigree by the Visionary to win the title here in Seattle. No, Bron Breakker still alive. Seth Rollins pulling out some high-octane maneuvers. The pedigree was the icing on the cake. Unfortunately for Rollins, Bron Breakker still got a heartbeat. Rollins just trying to turn the tables here. But Bron Breakker just sends him emphatically into the corner. Rollins now the one. Hoisted on top. Not by will, but by force. Another counter by Seth. Both these men starting to jock for position. Misses wildly for the super kick. Breakker turning Rollins inside out. Even playing field for a moment, but Bron Breakker said, we ain't playing that game. Now Seth once again drug into the corner. Bron Breakker, whatever he's got in mind, I'm sure it's going to be disastrous for the #1 contender. Full head of steam and just knocks Seth Rollins off the top. Rollins hit the apron on his way down to ringside. Seth Rollins has got to find something here. He's got to regroup, because just when you think Rollins is back in control, Bron Breakker overcomes the Visionary. And a scoop slam on the floor at T-Mobile Arena. T-Mobile Park, excuse me. Bron Breakker breaking the count off that. Oh man, Seth Rollins, super kick. The scoop slam by Breakker, but Rollins caught him with the kick. Now he's on the barricade. Blockbuster by the Visionary. Seth Rollins, will he do anything he's got to do? Bron gave him a moment, and Seth Rollins regrouped. Back inside the ring we go once more. I don't know what Seth Rollins has got left in that tool belt, but he's got to start swinging. There's the swing blade. That blockbuster on the outside may have been a difference maker. Now there's the moonsault. Seth Rollins starting to rally here in the Emerald City. On the middle rope once more. Seth goes for another blockbuster, but Bron Breakker denies it. Right into the belly-to-belly suplex. Man, if there is one thing we are going to look back on this match on, it's how many times Seth Rollins got thrown around this ring by the force of Bron Breakker. Rollins on the apron. Suicide spear by the champion. Bron Breakker cutting Seth Rollins in half. It might have just drove any hope and a prayer that Rollins had right out from him. The spear from the apron down to the floor. I don't know what Rollins has left, if anything. Rollins now just getting dragged around the ring once more. Bron Breakker, wheels are a-spinning. Seth Rollins realizing that he is in a dangerous spot. Trying to fight back. Bron denies. Spear by Breakker. And that may be all she wrote. Seth Rollins still in it. Seth Rollins kicks. This matchup still moves on. The suicide spear to the outside. Rollins knew danger was afoot. Tried to avoid it, but Breakker hit him with a spear inside of the ring. Unfortunately for Bron, this matchup progresses. But Breakker just going to continue the offense, continue to beat down the Visionary. I'll tell you what, no matter which way this matchup goes, this is a masterclass performance by Bron Breakker tonight. One of his best, no doubt about it. There's been times where Bron Breakker feels like the underdog, where he's fighting an uphill battle. Tonight feels like a little bit of a different story. It seems like Seth Rollins is chasing the champion. Bron hoisted on top by the #1 contender. I don't know what Rollins got in mind. He's starting to move fast. Look at the speed. Look at the agility. Superplex. Not done. Corkscrew. Takes out Breakker. Somehow, Bron Breakker's still in it. An incredible maneuver by the Visionary. Another sling blade. Rollins keeping his foot on the gas, measuring his man, goes for the kick. Could have been setting up the curb stomp. Breakker catches it. Exploder. Bron Breakker stole his championship. Flash before his eyes. Rollins in trouble. Another spear by the badass. Into the cover goes the champion. Bron Breakker caps off an incredible performance with retention of his gold.
Here is your winner, and still the undisputed WWE Champion, Bron Breakker!
Seth Rollins pushed Bron Breakker as far as he could. But the unpredictable badass continues to get better, continues to grow, continues to be dominant, his confidence sky high. A series of spears cuts out the hope and desires that Seth Rollins had here in Seattle. And Bron Breakker caps off what has been an incredible evening. Oh, wait a minute, Gunther in the ring. The ring general ambushing Bron Breakker upon his celebration in victory. Well, Gunther, who has been eyeing up an opportunity at the WWE Championship for quite some time, taking advantage of a weakened Bron Breakker powerbomb in the middle of the squared circle. Bron Breakker just got done one hell of a battle with Seth freaking Rollins. Gunther, who was victorious less than an hour ago here in Seattle, alongside Kaiser. And now he's got those steel steps and cracks Bron Breakker right in the dome with them. Gunther is here to make a statement, ambushing the WWE Champion moments after Bron had retained his gold. Well, Seattle letting Gunther have it. He already defeated two fan favorites earlier tonight in CM Punk and John Cena, and now he's looking to take down Bron Breakker once and for all. A second powerbomb, this time at ringside. The ring general, Gunther, spoiling a celebration after an incredible effort by Bron Breakker, who has retained his WWE title against Seth Rollins. Gunther's intentions extremely clear. Victorious back-to-back PLEs, and now he wants the gold. Gunther coming for Bron Breakker and the undisputed title. And an incredible night here in Seattle. Thank you for joining us at King and Queen